Ever look through the long boxes and the dollar bins at a local comic shop? Long boxes is for you. Hey everybody, it's Tom. It's FANzine Live. We are doing new releases today, and this is a 2024 first printing of a collection called Longboxes by Nate McDonough, and it is put out by, I'm trying to make sure, is it not Copacetic Comics, is it? Might be. I'm not sure exactly where. But anyway, Longboxes by Nate McDonough. I will find information on how to pick this up in the show notes. This is a really interesting book. I have seen plenty of kind of strips that are collected into collected editions. I mean, much like the Cranium Frenzy stuff I'm working on right now for Steve Willis. But this is one where these were drawn in both Pittsburgh and Durango, Colorado from 2020 to 2024, and originally presented in Grixley from numbers 50 through 68. So he's collected all of his cartoons that he's done, and he's put it all in together into one book. Longboxes is about, it's an autobiographical piece. My guess is there may be a little exaggeration, but I'd also suggest that there is very little, because personal experience on living the life of a comic book collector, there are plenty of there are plenty of real life examples that I can share that are the exact same. McDonough is a zine artist. I mean, you can tell he is professional to the point that he has a gig. He has a very raw, as you can see, style. He loves the 9-panel page. And he does a great job sharing his life experiences going through comic stores. He is a reseller, a flipper, if you will. He buys low at the comic shops and at the conventions and at the antique malls and flea markets. He buys low and then he sells them high on eBay. And so this whole thing is about the people he runs into, the experiences he has with the comics, the impressions of different comic shops. There's always a degree of joy to what he does. There is a degree of bemusement to what he does. And there's also kind of a degree of loathing to what he does. And it's just fascinating to read. And I honestly couldn't put this thing down once I started reading it. And it's a big one. I think it's around a couple hundred pages. And it's, professionally done paperback book, a little bigger than a digest. You can see you've got about a half inch by half inch. So it's about probably a 6x9 size, but this is really cool. And he goes through so much, and he has so many experiences, and some of them I can relate to. He has a thing about when he was living in Pittsburgh about coming over to Ohio, where I'm living, and talking about experiences he had in comic shops and conventions. But he does a lot of comic shops from the Columbus, Ohio area where I'm from. And so he's actually mentioned a couple by name, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I know that shop and I know that shop. And the people he runs into, I mean, I don't know if this particular one is in Columbus, but you can see you know, the Oblivious Windbag. You can see you've got, you know, that guy is a caricature. You've got this guy. I mean, it's just funny, the people he runs into, and he just has wonderful examples. You know, someone's looking for Micronauts. Micronauts? Was someone looking for Micronauts? I mean, it's just great. I love this thing. And if you are a collector of comics or a person who frequents comic shops, it's really, really fantastic. He does such a wonderful job. So I'm going to leave it at that. You know, as he says, there are always going to be more comics. There will always be more comics. And then, of course, he has to go buy more comics. I'm going to leave it at that. Longboxes, Nate McDonough. Awesome work. Oh, I also forgot to mention, though, he does have some extra stuff in the back. A couple pinups, I want to say. Yeah, he's got some pinups by some folks. He's very big in the Pittsburgh community. So if you follow Cartoonist Kayfabe, he mentions, you know, Jim Rugg and the late Ed Piskor. He's got a lot of stuff in here, so it's cool. Longboxes, Nate McDonough. Can't recommend it highly enough. And apparently $20 of value. A fantastic value. So that's it, everybody. Longboxes, FANzine Live New Releases. I would strongly suggest you order this one. I'll have information in the show notes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.